welcome to another exciting episode of Becoming the Product. I hope your day is going on well. I'm your host, Naya, as always. And today we have a fantastic guest joining us to share her insights on freelancing as a product manager. So whether you're considering going freelance or you're just curious about what it entails, you are in for a treat. Please join me in welcoming Oyindamola. Oyindamola, how are you today?
Thank you, Naya. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Thank you so much for coming on the call. Today's topic is something that a lot of people are interested in, and I'm happy to have you on. And before we start, I usually ask my guests to tell us how they got into product management. So could you just share how you transition to product management and then freelance?
Okay, well, I never even imagined myself finding myself in tech. I actually started as a marketer in the real estate industry. So I grew from just being an online marketer to the management level within the space of 5 years. So it was at the verge of actually reaching the next top management level. The company had some, crisis, external crisis. It was resolved, but we also had internal crisis, and that was immediately after my maternity leave. I resigned January, and the whole thing started 3 months after my resumption, and for about 1 year plus, I was not being paid, and we were thinking it should be fine. But lo and behold, I couldn't continue. So I was looking for where to just put my head. I was actually looking for another real estate firm. But about 3 categorically told me that looking at the background I have, looking at my current level, where I was coming from, I say I go to the management level, and I was entitled to so many things. Official pains and the like. So those ones said they couldn't afford to actually pay me. They love to have me in their team, but they can't really afford to have me in their team. And that was almost similar issues most of them were having, because those companies were actually set up, because even the company that I started as ordinary marketer was also a startup when I joined. And I was part of the team that grew the company to that level. So fast forward, I started hearing about tech, and the fact remains that my husband has been to tech more than 10 years ago, and he was also transitioning into another tech space. And I see him being busy every now and then, even when I was not really forthcoming in terms of even helping at all because of the crisis at that. So I actually had a thorough search and said, okay, from my previous experience, where do I think I can fit in? I knew that as a real estate person and going to the management level, most time we had to build products, come up with products. And I was always part of the people that will always come up with, okay, let's build these products, let's set FAQ, let's do this. So I felt definitely I will fit into product management. And that was how I started. And because of my exposure and my network, I just called some of my colleagues. I said, okay, can we just do something together? You have the skills, I have the skills. Let's do this, and let's start the consults. And that was how we started. And while I was still studying, I was already practicing. And that is how I started product management, and it has been awesome. And then I saw that, okay, because I never see myself starting from afresh from a company that will be paying me. I don't know, it's not bad, but I felt my maths was already wide, and I was not ready for 150,000 at the end of the month, or 200,000. So I felt I would like to have my time to myself. And I would like to have my time to myself, and let us manage a consult in partnership with my colleagues. And that is how I started freelance in particular.
Okay. That's very, very interesting. The 150,000 made me laugh. Entry level pay for PMs is wild. So how do How do you find your freelance clients? Like, how do you find people that are willing to pay for freelance PM?
Yeah. One thing is that, like I said earlier, that I leverage on my network and I leveraged on my colleagues. So we reasons together. Even my husband is part of the team, like as a cybersecurity and a media expert. So I have some other persons like business analyst. I have some business developer and the like. So what I do majorly is that I niche down. I niche down to startup. Like I felt okay, we'll do well with startup considering the background I have. So what we do is that we do a thorough research. That we have a research team in that, and I personally do that also. Apart from the fact that I manage a consult, I also run my own freelance like an individual. So at the end of the month, whatever comes to the consult is fine. But for me, myself, okay, whatever comes to me is for myself. So what we do is that I run a research, like I do a research. I'm always following every startup out there that is okay, there's a startup just coming up. I try to do the background finding. I try to be part and parcel of their if it's a better version of their products, or I try to be part of their early adopters. So I review some of those things, and when I can be able to identify probably some bugs or some flaws, then I write a proposal to some of this organization. And over the years, through the proposal, I think I've gotten about 2 to 3. Another thing is the recommendation. Some of my things also have network also. So some of them I have some friends as software engineer, project manager. So they just bring in the work and there's virtually work ongoing. Sometimes I even refuse to get some job. I just upload, I just like sign up on Upwork, and I felt like with the load of work I have for this year, I don't think I want to be really staying on Upwork. Let me be true this year. So the point of me is I leverage on the network of persons I have, and I do a lot of research. I even join communities of startups. I volunteers for startups. I got a job via a volunteering role for a startup, and I actually bring some of the tasks I will do for this startup. I break it down. So it's not necessarily me having to build their product. Some I may have to refine their product. Some is just for me to do their documentation. It's depending on what they want me to do.
Okay. That's a very smart approach, really smart and very proactive. You mentioned niching. How do you advise if someone wants to go into PM? How do they niche down to a particular service or industry?
Okay, are you saying what would be my advice, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh well, I wouldn't categorically advise someone without experience in a particular niche. For instance, I could venture into startup because the organization I started my career with was a startup. And I know some of the challenges. It wasn't a tech space like real estate firm, but it was a startup. I know some of the challenges. I know some of the wins. I know some of the things we could leverage on. And I felt that if I could be part of, if I can categorically say, okay, I'm part and parcel of the team that built this organization from a single entity to a conglomerate, then I can do well with startup. Actually, startup is not a place to venture to niche down to if you are just coming up and you don't even have an idea about what startup is, because working with startup can be very demanding if you are not passionate about startup. There are a whole lot of things attached to it. The idea of startup is the fact that you might easily get a job or roles or opportunity with startup more than established firm. Established firm might feel like they have it all. They don't think they need your service. They don't. But startups are ready to grow. They are ready to learn. So they want to bring in expertise. They want to bring in even people that are just coming up to grow their firm together. So for you to say you want to niche down, I wouldn't really advise someone that, okay, niche down to this particular sector. For instance, you could even niche down to startup and say, okay, for this startup, I want to focus on PaaS, platform as a service. I want to focus on mobile app startup. So it's depending on, you need to do a thorough research. Like there's a particular master class I'll be teaching my mentees today. That's career path in product management. One thing is that product management is wide and you have a whole lot of place to navigate to. You can choose to say, I want to just be a product manager for software as a service. For instance, me niching down to startup firm, I have actually worked over the years for the past going to 3 years now. I work with over 7 sectors. I mean, I'd actually work with the automobile industry, the real estate firm. I'm currently working on real estate firm. I've worked with environmental sector, health sector, fintech, yes, and even edutech, yes, edutech, that one. So it's depending on your passion and your background. You need to identify your passion. I need to identify, okay, if your past experience actually resonates with where you want to niche down to. Don't just niche down because a whole lot of persons are actually going to that area. Because I now see now that a lot of persons are saying, I can go for startup. And many don't even know what it takes to work with startup. A whole lot of things attached to it.
Yes, I can relate. Startups, you have to have the right mindset. It's not the same as your typical traditional environment. You have to have the right mindset to succeed there. So you mentioned Upwork. Are there other platforms where we can position ourselves, like market our skills and showcase our experiences to potential clients? Or which one do you prefer to use?
Okay. Just as I said earlier, I know several platforms where you can actually showcase yourself as a freelance PM. Like I said, Upwork. I purposely had to go to Upwork because I know that I am not really optimizing what I can do out there. There are some persons there that need my service. And right now I just registered. I've not even optimized my profile because I knew that I'm not ready for any projects now. I currently have 2 projects that I'm currently managing, like building a product for a startup. And I still have other organization like that at the growth, the TTM stage, like true. So I wouldn't want to, overwhelm myself with activities and even my team because I always want maximum productivity. So another platform that I could always say and I would always advise is optimize your LinkedIn profile. Like optimize your LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I was already practicing product management before I saw reasons why I needed to optimize my LinkedIn. And what really happened? I think one of my business developer, we cited a startup. What was the name of the startup? I think it's an health tech startup. And he went to pitch them and put them about our consults, what we can do, blah, 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 that we even have cybersecurity team, a whole lot. And they asked the question, they asked, what is our online presence? And we said, well, we don't have. How about people that are working there? Can I have their LinkedIn profile? And he came back and gave me the report. I've actually been hearing about optimizing my LinkedIn, but I had not seen reasons to. And it really pained me a lot that even in my previous work where I had a lot of things that I did, I traveled, I trained so many, and I did not even put it out there on LinkedIn. But right now it's not so late, so I felt okay. That was that month that I decided to say, okay, LinkedIn, here I call. And June 29th to be precise, last year, 2023, I decided to be active on LinkedIn. And then I was on 103 or 108 followers or so. And I think 55 connections. So I started, okay, I want to be active now. I was not really particular about, okay, I entered LinkedIn because I was looking for a job, but I wanted to optimize my LinkedIn. I follow so many creators. I did not go for any special program to optimize my LinkedIn, but I was just learning why be active on LinkedIn. And I could categorically say that I got the one I can remember. Yeah, I think even true, yes. There's a software engineer that approached me and said, I've been following you on LinkedIn for a while, and I've not been liking your post. I've not even reposted. I've not commented. I've been following you for a while, and there's a particular project that I've stopped at. Can you please come through for me? and the organization doesn't have a project manager. I told them to have, but they said there's no need, and they don't even have a product manager, but they still I can do it. But here I am stuck. And I had a meeting with the stakeholders, and lo and behold, that was how I actually it was a Lagos State automobile, whatever. Although the stakeholders, they had crisis, they had fight eventually. But we built the product such that the website was launched. In fact, I still have the prototype, I still have every other thing. So that was how I got that offer. And whether they eventually did not launch the product or not, it pained me because I was looking at one big product. You know, when Lagos State is involved in a product and you're part of the team that built it, you know how proud you will be. Like, you just like, I can't wait. So when I heard the sad news, I was not happy. But I got I did PRD for them and I got my 300K. That's it. So, and that was just PRD. So I think PRD, I gave them a bonus. I did a bonus of business skills. There was a company that was in affiliation with them. So, and it was through that company, that software engineer and his team, that I got that offer. So I just said, okay, let me do a business case for them so that to help that company that was in partnership with Lagos State automobile industry. The product is actually a wow. I wish the stakeholders can come back to terms and say, okay, we are coming back, let's build this product. I can't wait for them to come back to terms and let's launch this product. So another way, I got another offer, a product marketing role. That was on a contract level via my LinkedIn also. A friend that knew my background when I was serving and I got my previous job in the real estate industry, and I was growing in the industry to the management level. When I got my official car, when I traveled out, when I did so many things, he was following me. So, and I never knew he was actually following me on LinkedIn. I knew he was following me, but I never knew he was actually like watching the space. And he just called me one day while I was serving my husband breakfast before going to work and said, Oyindamola, I need your help. I said, this one that you called me like this, we used to be friends right from undergraduate. And I was like, okay, so what's up? What's it? And I say, it's like you're no longer working with this place. I said, yes, so since I told your wife now, I spoke with her. Oh, that is fine. I've been following you. I see that you're not into product management. I need somebody like you. But now you are not coming in as a product manager. You are coming in as a product marketer. I said, why are you saying that? Does it mean that you guys have built your product to a reasonable stage? He said, we have been building this product for the past 1 year, 6 months, and we are ready for GTM because it's now overwhelming. Let's have a real world person that will test our product and give us feedback. Let's start engaging with our target audience. I asked a whole lot of questions as regarding product management, and it was like, oh, I can see. I have no doubts bringing you into the team. Let me speak with my colleagues. And that was how I got you from contract level to full-time role now. In fact, I think 3 weeks ago, one of the stakeholders, the CEO, told me, said, Oyindamola, can you, I see what you do every day on LinkedIn. And he has never liked my product. I see what you do. I know you came in as a consultant for us. You said you consult for startup. But can you categorically put the name of our company on your job experience that you are working with so that it can visibility? I said, I told you guys to invest on your social media presence. Let's start work on that if you want visibility. For me, I cannot put it, but when my website is ready, your logo and what I do for your company will be in my website. Is that fine? He said, oh, that makes sense. So what I'm saying in essence is that all these platforms that people take for granted are where you can actually get a whole lot of roles from any angle. It could be via recommendations, it could be via consistent posting and telling them your services and the likes. Even Twitter is a space for you to also get role. Apart from all these favor, there's another one, side also. Side, do you know it?
I've heard about it before. Fiverr, Upwork.
Yes, side also is. In fact, I would recommend that platform. I've gotten like one role like that. But one thing about me is that before I can say I want to get an offer, I always want a clear understanding, a mutual understanding. So I think I was requesting for offer letter from that particular organization, they couldn't provide it. And I said, should I provide my own MOU? That I have my own lawyer, I have my own MOU. They said no, that after my work now, there's no. I said, I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that because I don't always, it's story that touches. So you can actually do your research and for all these platforms that promotes freelancers. So those ones I've measured so far, you can't really joke. LinkedIn, Twitter, Upwork, go and optimize your profile and do the needful. Personally, I've not really been using them to the maximum because I am leveraging on my networks and community. So, but those are the places where you can get your projects or jobs.
Or clients. Okay. Thank you so much, Oyindamola. As a freelancer, what would you say is like the advantages and the disadvantages of working as one?
Of course, there's nothing without there's nothing without cons. There's nothing without advantages. It's only we want to deceive ourselves. I would say yes, advantages. I have my own time to myself. Yes. But if you look at it the other way around, do I still really have my time to myself if I did not plan my set time very well? So the thing is, like, I take ownership of my time and I get paid. I offer product management, tax, product marketing, and product documentation. I just mentioned something that for a particular organization, I think the list I've collected for PRD, the list I've collected for PRD so far is 200,000, just PRD.
Well,
and there are so many things. It could be FAQ. FAQ is also a documentation you could do. Sometimes you have to manage a project. Like there's a particular task I say I'm doing. I'm fitting in as a project manager and a product manager. I can decide how I want to earn, not they telling me this is what they can offer me. If this is what I want to earn, it is for us to now negotiate and say, okay, yes, we won't be able to afford it because we are startup. Then I will now, okay, let me put myself in your shoe. This is how where I can go. Like I can decide what comes into my to me. I have my time to myself. However, the thing is, if you are not conscious of time management and prioritization skills, it might be overwhelming. And when you're working as a freelance, one thing that actually that affects recommendations from you or not making you not making your work to be really known is when you're unable to meet deadlines and when you're unable to prioritize well. When it comes to time management, I have been able to. It initially was a problem for me because as a mother to a toddler, as a wife, and I feel, how do I even navigate myself working, doing daily stand-up for some organization, having a project to do for a startup, and there's a particular deadline. One thing I do is that for me to also focus on time management, I try to utilize my calendar very well. Okay, yes, time management is an issue. I utilize my calendar, then I ensure that I prioritize. Because if you are not careful, you feel that you are doing what is actually not necessary or important, and you've forgotten what is necessary and important. Another thing is that the disadvantages is that sometimes if you are not proactive enough, you might not get anything at the end of the month. But so to be candid, for the past going to 2 years now, that's never happened because I'm always being proactive. If I'm on a project, I know I'll be done with this project in the next minute. I send out my proposal to another organization I'm targeting. If I know that, okay, I tell some of my people, go and speak to this person. We need to get another job. You will soon be through with this. I'm always being proactive. But if you are not, you don't discover that, okay, in January, you got an offer, a project, a job, and maybe you were paid 200 or 500,000. The next one might take the next 3 months, and you feel, I don't think freelance is for me. So those are the challenges that you might be facing, that, oh, if you are not proactive enough, freelance might not be for you, because there will always be raining days, and you need to prepare ahead. Like, you need to be more strategic. It requires being strategic, extra strategic, and it requires you to be conscious of time management and prioritization skills. So, like I said, there's no role, there's no activities you venture into that doesn't have advantages, that doesn't have disadvantages. Another disadvantage that I know, it might not be applicable to virtually everyone, but for me, so far, working as a freelance for the niche, especially the startup firm that I'm working with, like I said, some of them don't really want to be known in the public for now. They want to operate underneath. I understand, because from my findings, I discovered some of them, they're afraid of regulatory bodies because they've not done, they can't really do it at once. That's the fact, because it can be overwhelming. They have to do it gradually, and they want to take it one step at a time. Then another thing, the fear of imitation. They don't want, okay, before they say they are ready for their GTM, and maybe there's another company or another person that have similar product idea and just stumbled on theirs, and the person have enough resources and, in terms of human and financial resources, and comes out only earlier than them, that means they are at loss. So a lot of factors that I cannot really showcase what I'm doing or what I've done. For instance, I mentioned Lagos State as a particular project. I mentioned it. I purposely mentioned it, I mentioned it because then when I was building this thing, when we were testing, we were doing the testing at the stage, I couldn't even post it. I was waiting for the launching, because they said they had competitors, so let them launch it officially. And, we already partners with so many automobile companies that will be using the platform. But unfortunately, there was crisis among the stakeholders and we couldn't learn. So those are the challenges. Another challenge is that for somebody like me that work freelance for startup, sometimes the stakeholders for some startup are just one or two persons. Communication can be a challenge. Yeah, but you are trying to ask some necessary question and one of them is busy. So the only thing is to identify those challenges and know how to navigate it. But whether I like it or not, if you wake me up in the middle of the night, anytime, any day, and tell me, between startup and established company, which firm do you still want to work with? Okay, between freelance and working with a company, which one will you still choose? I will still choose freelance, and I will still choose working with a startup.
Thank you so much, Oyin. I really enjoyed our episode today. I've come to meet you before about this freelance thing, and I'm still trying to optimize my profile, trying to identify services I can offer, and I've learned a lot from this episode. So thank you so much for coming on. Just before we round up, I usually ask if you have any advice, just one advice for anybody that's trying to go into this route of PM. What will you give them? Just one.
Okay, well, like I said earlier, that before you say you want to niche down or you want to venture into freelance, know that product management generally is not for the weak. Now, when you now choose to go into freelance, then know that you are ready for war. Why? You're ready for war in terms of looking for clients, jobs, role, leveraging our platforms, doing so many things to ensure that you are not stranded. So it's not about you saying, it's difficult to get a job as an entry level, aspiring intermediate level PM. So I think let me just go into freelance. Know what you can do, your capability. And as a freelance, you want to venture into freelance product management. Continuous learning is the key. Like, you can't just afford, because what you think you knew 6 months ago, technology is always being updated. You can't afford not to just keep learning. There's a particular software edutech product that I joined the team. I think I mentioned it in the course of this podcast.
Yeah,
I joined the team when they already built the core features. And when I joined as a PMA, because of my background in product management, I could chip in so many things based on the feedback we get from demos and the likes. And I told them that, okay, you know what we are expected to do is that we need to see if truly this product is market fit. You need to do your thorough research. Like, as a freelancer, you can't just sit down and leverage on, okay, this is what I know yesterday, and definitely what I know yesterday is still. You need to know where it's still like in line in the current industry that you are. This particular software we're using for that product, and before you know it, it became outdated. I even got to know it via one of our prospects that was telling me, "Are you aware that Node.js will be? There is a new version of Node.js, and if you guys are still using Node.js 20, this one is coming up." And I was like, "Yes, I'm aware." I wasn't aware. But the thing is, so continuous learning is the key. If you want to venture into freelance, don't even take it like you know it all. You can't know it all. Then you might not want to go into all the sectors. If you have thorough educational background, in the educational sector, why not just leverage on maybe solving problems in the educational sector, building products, either software as a service, platform as a service, mobile, whatever. If it is health sector that you have thorough experience and like, why not just focus on that? You don't have to do everything like I am doing. So I have a whole lot of advice. So let us just, you can actually, this one is okay. Go and drink water to eat.
Thank you so much, Oyin. I really appreciate you on the call today. And I hope we all learned something. Freelancing is another option, but you need to be prepared. You need to have the right mindset. You need to have the right skills. So as usual, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or to Oyin on our platforms, LinkedIn, whatever one that you like. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, Oyin. Have a great day.
Thank you, Naya.